I got tricked into that one.
That is a husband on a cable television show in a confessional booth, accusing his wife of tricking him into a second pregnancy by secretly removing her IUD. Her name is Jen Affleck. His name is Zach Affleck. They are still married. They are still on the show, and she credits the show, his voice, her patience, the Hulu camera crew, with saving that marriage. Let's talk about what saving means.
She took out her IUD without telling me, but
The IUD claim. Zach Affleck, on camera in season 2 of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, alleges that Jen secretly removed her intrauterine device in order to conceive without his knowledge. This is a specific, clinical, medically implausible accusation. An IUD is not the kind of device a Mormon wife removes on a Tuesday and then replaces on a Friday. Whether it's true or not, and Jen denies the framing, the claim is in the record. Zach said it, Hulu aired it, the franchise monetized the husband accusing his wife of reproductive coercion. That is the tone of the marriage.
That you were a failure. You didn't try hard enough. You gave up. So when the cast comes back from Vegas and we check back in with Jen and Zach, we learn that, surprise, surprise, one conversation did not fix their...
Then Vegas. Season 3. The wives take a trip. Jen goes to a male strip club with her co-stars. Zach, at home in Utah, explodes. Texts her that he doesn't care what her heart wants. Threatens to leave her if she doesn't quit the show. Films his own confessional in which he says, and I want this phrasing intact, that he would rather Jen be at home with the kids than continuing to be a Mormon wife on a Mormon wife show. The irony registered. The audience registered it. Zach did not register it.
Honestly, the whole point of me going on reality TV in the first place was to show like my life and show the reality of like
the show per Jen is what saved them. That is the line she keeps feeding in press. The show saved our marriage. She has said this in podcast interviews. She has said this in late night talk show appearances. She has said this to her own cast members when the topic of divorce comes up around her. Which, as a sentence from a 30-year-old Mormon mother with 3 small children and a husband who publicly accused her of reproductive manipulation, is extraordinary. It is the single most radical endorsement of reality television any American has ever given on record.
it wasn't an overnight thing. It's taken like a lot of work and therapy, and I'm really proud of him.
Because here's the operational claim. Zach Affleck, from season 1 to season 3, visibly softens. The therapy is filmed. The therapist is credited. Zach's on-camera apologies are, per Jen's description, meaningfully different from his off-camera behavior earlier in the marriage. If you take her at her word, and there's no particular reason not to, the reality show did provide a couples counseling framework, did hold Zach accountable in a way private therapy had not, and did produce a measurably better husband. The question is whether that makes the show a public good or a coercive cage.
No, that was never a fear of mine. Never.
I am never leaving Zach. That is Jen Affleck's sentence from late 2025, delivered across multiple press appearances, always unprompted. Never preceded by a question about leaving, always offered as a declarative, which is the register of a woman who has rehearsed the line, which is the register of a woman who knows the audience is waiting for her to leave him, which is, structurally, the register of a hostage video filmed with the
option to do the show herself. It was always the plan for them to join as a couple. They were really interested in the dynamic of these Mormon wives with their husbands.
And Zach, to his credit, has been showing up for therapy. The therapist is seen on camera. The breathing exercises are filmed. The apology confessionals are edited to land at the emotional high point of each episode. The arc the show has constructed for Zach is a redemption arc, and it is, by the standards of Hulu cable adjacent reality, a good redemption arc. Better than Colt's, better than Tate's, better than most. Here is the pivot.
Even if he does love her to the best of his capabilities, this is not healthy love. I think he loves what she can give him. I think he loves the way she looks and her wallet and giving.
Season 3 reveals. Jen discloses on camera during an argument with another cast member that she was sexually assaulted in a fight. The details are fuzzy. She does not name Zach. She does not name the incident. The franchise cuts the disclosure carefully, leaves it ambiguous, and then, within the same season, recenters the episode on Zach's therapy progress. The audience is handed two contradictory data points and invited to weight them. Reddit, in aggregate, weights the therapy progress. He's changing. That is the read Hulu wanted them to have.
Any different. And when her friends tell her that this must be something she's used to because she got over it so quickly, she agrees with them. Jen admits that when they were first married, their dynamic.
Let me be specific about the choice the franchise made. A reality show, in production, receives a sexual assault disclosure from a lead cast member. The show does not and cannot independently verify the disclosure. The show's options are pull the cast member, offer off-camera support, or air the disclosure as a plot beat. Hulu chose option 3. The assault is a 12-second detail in a 35-minute episode. The main plot of that episode is whether Zach's therapy homework is working. Jen's disclosure was used by Jen, by Hulu.
You ain't never had a friend, never had a friend. You ain't never had a friend.
Then, DWTS. Season 34, 2025. Jen is cast. 2 months postpartum, her pro partner is Jan Rovnick. She is eliminated on the Halloween episode. The 14-week DWTS run is her off-screen vacation from the marriage. She is in Los Angeles, on a dance floor, in sequins, in the direct employ of ABC, while Zach is in Utah doing the work of being the primary parent to 3 children, 1 an infant. DWTS, in Jen's case, is the reverse therapy. Jen's camera-free period is Jen's escape, and Zach has no choice but to support it, because the alternative is the villain edit.
Her disgusting, said he doesn't love her anymore, and he threatened to take the kids in the divorce. What was her crime again? Being within 20 feet of a shirtless man. Meanwhile,
3 kids. That's the other math. 3 kids across 4 years of television. Jen was filming the first season while pregnant with her second. She was filming the 3rd season while newly postpartum with her 3rd. Every season of her televised marriage is also a season of her postpartum body. Every confessional about Zach is a confessional delivered by a woman who has not yet slept a full 8 hours in the calendar year. That is not a defense of anything. That is context for every sentence she speaks.
mindfuck, especially growing up Mormon. Just like many other religions, Mormonism highly discourages divorce under any circumstances. You're taught that if you divorce, that
The Mormon frame, Jen is a practicing LDS wife in Utah. The church does not officially countenance divorce. The church does officially encourage stay-at-home motherhood. The church does officially provide the social architecture in which never leaving is the only socially approved position. Jen's never leaving Zach is not purely strategic reality TV positioning. It is also the only sentence her stake, her ward, and her mother will accept from her in public. Reddit reads the sentence as denial. The church reads the sentence as obedience. Both reads are correct.
That his narcissistic tendencies will come out, but that leaving him isn't an option because who's to say that wouldn't happen in the next marriage? I'm to say, not everyone is a narcissist. In fact, only.
And here's what the franchise will never admit. The Hulu show did not save Jen's marriage. The Hulu show absorbed the divorce that would otherwise have happened. Every season of televised therapy is a season in which the marriage did not dissolve. Every on-camera apology is an apology the institutional Mormon church failed to extract. Hulu, a for-profit streaming service owned by the Walt Disney Company, has been, in Jen Affleck's case, doing moral support work that religious institutions used to be paid in tithing, in guilt, and time to do. The show is not a marriage saver. The show is a marriage substitute structure.
Stepped into the building. What are you talking about? Secondly, her obsession with her image is so deeply Mormon and is amplified by her husband, Zach, because Mormons sure do.
Which brings us to the uncomfortable question. If reality television is functioning, for certain demographics, as a cheaper couples counselor than the church, and cheaper than private therapy, which in Utah runs $300 an hour, and was not, per Jen's own stated finances, accessible early in the marriage, is that a net good, or is it a catastrophe the audience has been manipulated into celebrating? Jen says net good. Zach, by softening, appears to endorse it. The audience, by staying subscribed, has implicitly voted net good. The only party withstanding to disagree is the future version of the Affleck children, who will grow up to watch their father's 2024 behavior on demand.
But in this situation, like, we both hadn't given it our all in our relationship, and it wasn't fair to us or our kids to just walk away when we hadn't done the work.
Second pivot, because the children matter here. 3 of them, names currently withheld by Hulu for reasons the network has not specified, but which are, in context, exactly what you think. These children will, by the time they are teenagers, have full access to their parents' marital counseling, filmed and edited. They will watch their father accuse their mother of reproductive coercion. They will watch their mother credit the show with saving her marriage. They will read Reddit threads in which their mother's sexual assault disclosure is weighed against their father's therapy progress. That is the archive they inherit. Hulu, in this case, is not a family-building platform. Hulu is an evidence management platform for a future custody dispute that may or may not ever actually occur.
Love Jessie. And I love watching her stir the pot.
In Zach's texts, the ones from Vegas, the "I don't care what your heart wants" one, those live on screenshots, on subreddits, on TikTok commentary channels, a full forensic archive of the husband's worst marital moments, preserved, indexed, searchable. In a divorce proceeding, any competent attorney for Jen could walk into a Utah courtroom with an iPad and a playlist and end the custody question in 45 minutes. Hulu, unwittingly, has produced discovery for her. Whether she ever uses it is the twist ending of a show that does not know it is right.
Yeah, no, I truly feel like he's made a lot of changes, and it's taken a lot of therapy, though.
Third pivot, the generational read. Jen's mother, who appears periodically on the show, has her own reality TV free marriage to a Mormon patriarch Jen does not discuss. Jen's generation is the first Mormon wife generation to have Hulu, to have reality television as an option for marital negotiation. The Stidham sisters of her mother's generation did not have this affordance. They divorced or they stayed silent. Jen's entire cohort is using reality television in the aggregate as a collective bargaining tool against patriarchy. That is not ironic. That is accurate. And it is the only frame in which the show Saved Our Marriage can read as anything other than Stockholm Syndrome.
Do you feel like you were set up walking in with your Brady Bunch family?
Walk back. Jen does not need rescuing. Jen is an adult. Jen has agency. Jen has stated her position publicly and repeatedly and consistently across 4 seasons, and that position is that the marriage is savable, the husband is reformable, the therapy is working, the children are safe, and the show is a good. Every external audience member, including this one, is operating from incomplete data. The woman inside the marriage has information the camera does not capture. She says stay, so she stays. That is the whole moral ledger. But the franchise's endorsement of her stay is also a business decision. Hulu needs her on camera. Hulu needs Zach's arc. Hulu needs the therapy footage. The moment Jen says leave, the franchise loses the second most viewed couple in its cast. So Hulu will never ask her to leave. The therapist contractually cannot suggest she leave. The co-stars, by production note, will not publicly suggest she leave. The only people who can suggest she leave are the Reddit thread and a future version of herself.
We haven't watched
I
it,
guess
so
we'll
we
see.
don't
Yeah,
really
we don't
know.
know.
We could be
We'll
wrong.
The Ramp. Here is where Jen Affleck lands as of the second week of April, 2026. Still married, 3 kids, 1 DWTS run on the resume, Zach's therapy progressing per her account, the Vegas texts archived, the IUD allegation in the permanent record, the sexual assault disclosure still in its ambiguous frame, Hulu signing the couple for season 5, the redemption arc still selling, the audience still weighing, Reddit still hoping she leaves. She's still saying she won't. The kicker, every reality wife on American cable television has had her marriage tested by the camera. Exactly 1 has publicly announced that the camera saved it. The rest of them said the camera ruined the marriage, made it worse, broke something irreparable. Jen Affleck is outvoted. Jen Affleck is the Minority Report. Jen Affleck might also be, and I want you to hold this, correct. The camera may have, for the Afflecks, been the thing the marriage needed, which, if true, means the church has a competitor, which, if true, means Hulu is, for specific demographic of American women, doing the work, which, if true, means the next 50 years of marital therapy in Utah will be negotiated through content calendars rather than through bishops' interviews. And the bishop, somewhere, on a Tuesday, is watching season 3, quietly, to see how it's done. If you made it this far, you either love me or you're looking for something to yell about in the comments. Either way, like, subscribe, and tell your sister.